this video, I'll show you how to create Facebook local ads. And those are the types of ads that would take people to your physical location. That's why they're called local ads. That does not mean in any way that there are all the ways in which you can advertise a local business. For example, if you have a website, you can use conversion campaigns and send people to your website and get them in your stores this way. So again, there's that opportunity for testing. But local ads are specialized and intended to get people to your physical location and provide them with the necessary directions that they need to get there. So let's jump to Ads Manager and show you how that's done. First of all, you need to create yourself a campaign and you need to select store traffic as the objective, and you need to select your page. But before you can actually do that, if you try to do that without having a location set up, that's not going to work. So first of all, you need to go to Business Manager, and then you have to go to your shop locations. And you might notice that the image for our Facebook business page has changed. That's because Facebook will not allow you to create a physical store for some reason if you don't have a profile picture and what was it called? 1 second. So you need to have a profile picture and a cover photo for your landing page, right? So first you need to open up your business page. Most of the time you're going to have this, but for now we've selected Sir Ken Robinson over here as our patron of learning, and he will be representing our Facebook page, or at least the images for it. Then you can go to the locations and set up your store location. If not, you're just gonna get an error over here and it's gonna tell you to set up your photos. Now you need to click here on Add Stores, and you have several options. First of all, if you have already a page that has a physical address, you can just simply connect that page. You can also connect via API if you have thousands of locations and you wanna upload them and kind of maintain them via API. And you can also add multiple stores in a spreadsheet, and you need to provide their addresses and so on. But in this case, I'll just show you how to do it manually. If you end up being in one of the other cases, the options for that are pretty easy. So we are gonna give it a description. We'll just call it the White House. Because that's what we're going to use for our example address. We're just going to copy the address of the White House over here and put that down. We need a city, and that's not going to work if you just type it like that. You need to select the proper place, and then you need to add your postal code over here. You can add a phone number, so let's copy that one over as well. And if you have a Wi-Fi network, you can tell people the name of that network, and that would be the White House, I suppose. You can see and check if your location is correct. You can also have a page username to create a custom URL if you haven't already done that, and you can add a specific subcategory, which is pretty much mandatory over here. So that would be, I don't know what it is actually. It's a government building, right? So you can also provide some additional business information like opening hours, and we can say that it's always open. If you have any pickup options like store pickup or curbside, you can add that as well. For those of you Americans, curbside is the one that you can go out and pick it up with your car on the side of the store. You can choose a price if you want to specify that or leave that as unspecified. Let's say the White House is super expensive, and or it could be super cheap, doesn't matter. We won't specify it in this case, and it's going to be operating as usual. Now once you save that location, you can then use that location for your needs. Let's see if we have set up. Oh, we can't do that. So we'll just call it our store. We can't, obviously you can't name your address the White House, so that's okay. We will live without it. If we have any errors, wait for it to load. And we should be done. Now we have our store ID and we have our store with its address and everything else that we need. Now we can go to Ads Manager, and then it's a good idea to refresh the page and then create our campaign anew. So then what you want to select as an objective is store traffic. That's what's going to allow you to create local ads, and you want to select your business page in this case. So we'll go with that. We'll name our campaign local ads. It's a store traffic campaign. We don't need CBO. Again, and we move on to the ad set settings. Now on the ad set level, again, we can provide our names. We want people to walk into our store. And then we need to select our store over here, which will be, in this case, our business page. You can also create a new store set or add them in bulk. That doesn't really matter. Now, when you get here to the targeting options, here you will see a message saying that you are targeting a group of stores. You don't want to do that because you basically have no idea what's going to happen. So you want to target a geographical area instead and select your geographical targeting. So for this reason, I will just go and get that address again. Let's say this is where our business is located. I'll select that address, and let's say I want to advertise to people who are within 10 kilometers of that radius. So this is a good 590,000 people around that area. Now here it's very important to mention that when you are advertising local businesses, you should be very, very careful with your targeting, because what people generally do is they go way too narrow and their ads just won't work ever. So I'll give you an example of that. So let's say that I want to target, let's say I want to target marketers. Or just I'll select a big interest like online advertising. Now from 560,000, my audience is already down to 72,000 people. And if I select something more narrow, like, I don't know, maybe mechanics. Just select a smaller interest and you will see I will end up with 12,000 people. That's way, way, way too narrow. And your ad is just going to quickly run through these people. And on the first day, or maybe on the second day, they will have all seen your ad and it will fatigue incredibly quickly. Additionally, besides not using detailed targeting expansion and detailed targeting at all, generally for local businesses, you want to have a bit of a bigger audience. And let's say that, for example, we are targeting people who are a little bit older. That's like, you can use the age and gender to have somewhat controlled audience, but the best option to go with is to just let Facebook figure it out based on your offer. So if that was a restaurant, just target everyone. It's much better than targeting, let's say, pizza lovers or people who are interested in pizza. or let's say pizza chef. Maybe we are like an educational institution for pizza chefs, and you can see 1,000 people. That's not gonna work. So don't use any of these options. Go with at least 250,000 people if you're advertising a business, a local business. And if your area has less than that, target all of them. Trust me, it's gonna work. Well, maybe it won't work, but that's the best way to go about it. Now, additionally, when you do this, if your audience is going to be small anyway, you want to refresh your ad creatives quite often because of that ad fatigue, and because people, small audiences are going to see your ads quite a lot of times quite quickly if you have a significant budget. So you don't want to do that, and that's why you need to be targeting properly for your local businesses. Now we move on to the ad. So first of all, you can see that there's an ad voice section over here. So when you have physical locations, so let's say, imagine that you are advertising for Best Buy. Best Buy has a lot of locations. And so you either want to talk from the main Best Buy page, or you want to talk from the local pages in that area. In this case, I will select the main page, but you can also select local pages if you have a huge number of local pages. Now, then on the ad level, you have a carousel. Carousel is good when you have multiple locations and you want to provide people with a choice of where to go. In this case, I will use single image or video, and I will just add an image. Let's say I'll just use this one. Doesn't really matter which one we use. Again, you have your standard ad options over here, but this is very important here. So for your local ads, you want people to get to your physical location. So you are going to either use the store locator, which will say get directions over here, and when people click that button, Facebook will pull out a navigation service and will navigate them to that specific location that you selected. Or you can open it on the map, so people can just see it on the map, maybe go there directly, and also they can get directions from the map itself if that's what they want to do. And the buttons say get directions in both cases. You can change your call to action, but that's definitely not recommended. Additional options that you can actually use is the call now button that will get them to call your business, maybe if they have to make a reservation first, or if they want to, if you're advertising something that needs them to call you before they come to your store. But generally, the get directions is the best option, and the store locator will just directly take them over there. Sometimes people prefer the open in map, and that's generally used in Europe and certain parts of Asia. So the reason being is that people in Europe really prefer Google Maps to whatever other map you can find. And so maybe they want to use Waze, maybe they want to use Google Maps, and that's why they just want to open the map, copy the address, and put it in their navigation, in their car, in their Apple CarPlay or Android map that they're using. And that's why opening map is sometimes a better option. You can again create two different ads and experiment with that and see which one gets you the best results. And that's pretty much it. So a few tips that you can use to get better results is, again, if you remember when we were talking about the instant experiences, we were mentioning the lookbook and the custom experience, that they can pretty much see what they're going to get before they end up on your website. That's another way to go about local businesses. But mainly the best way is if you have many locations, go with carousel. If you have one specific location that you want to advertise, go with single image or video. And then in your ad, present your value proposition well, so that people will know what they can find at your location. I know it's a bit hard, but maybe you can try and do it. A good option to test is if just the location ad doesn't really work, because people don't get the entire value proposition why they should go to that specific store. You can also use conversion ads and send people to your own website where they can find a little bit more information and then get the direction. So for example, if you're a restaurant or a bar, maybe they can see the events or they can see the menu and then walk into your store. But for certain cases, like if you are a car repair shop, then it could be that people just need to get the directions and go there directly without asking too many questions. So that's how you use Facebook local ads. You first need to go to your store locations, set up your locations, and then you can use the store traffic campaigns to create ads that provide directions to your online store. And you can also use the call functionality for people to call you if they're in your local area and you require maybe to make a reservation or something like that. Yeah, it's not very complicated. You already know a lot, so these videos are going to get shorter and shorter, and that's really everything that you need to know about creating local ads on Facebook. So I'll see you guys in the next video.